Dean's A Book of Fairytales, 1977 edition. Illustrated by Janet and Anne Granham Johnstone. Contents: The Three Little Pigs, page 28. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time there were 3 little pigs. When they grew big enough to look after themselves, the first little pig decided to leave his mother and 2 brothers and go out into the world. "The world is a dangerous place," said his mother. "The first thing you should do is build yourself a house, and then you will be safe inside it." "That is a very good idea," said the first little pig. "I am a wise little pig. I will soon make my way in the world and become a well-to-do, grown-up pig." The little pig's brothers thought he was very brave, and they did all they could to help him get ready for his journey. The first little pig dressed himself in his best clothes and put his toothbrush and other important things in the middle of a big red and white spotted handkerchief, and then he tied the corners together over a stick, so that he could carry it over his shoulder. Then the first little pig put on a shady hat and kissed his mother goodbye. "You can all come and stay with me when I am a rich pig in a home of my own," he promised. "Look out for wicked wolves," his mother warned. The other little pigs trotted across the fields with their brother until they came to the wide open road which led out into the world. "Which way are you going?" asked the second little pig. The first little pig thought for a long time, and then he pointed along the road where it stretched over the hills and far away. "I shall go that way," he said. So the first little pig trotted away down the road, waving to his brothers until they could not see him any more. The first little pig strode along bravely, feeling very pleased with himself, but he was not used to walking such a long way, and he soon began to feel tired. When he saw a man coming along with a great truss of straw on his back, the little pig decided that already the time had come to build himself a house to live in. The little pig stopped in front of the man and spoke very politely. "Please, sir, will you be so good as to give me some straw to build myself a house?" he asked. The man was so pleased to meet a little pig with such good manners that he smiled down at him and said, "I already have as much straw as I want for my new home. You can have all this bundle for your house." The first little pig was delighted. He began at once to twist and weave and shape the straw, and he worked so hard that before long he had finished his little straw house. He made himself a chair and a little round table. Then he sat down to have his supper. "It has not taken me long to get settled down in a beautiful new house," cried the first little pig proudly. "Soon I shall be able to invite my 2 brothers to stay with me." Now the little pig was not as wise as he thought, or he would have known that it is not a very good idea to build a house of straw, and he should have looked around for something much stronger. In the meantime, the second little pig had decided that the time had come for him to leave home and follow his brother out into the world. "Take care," warned his mother. "The world is a dangerous place." "I will build myself a house, and you can come and stay with me," said the second little pig. So he put on his best clothes and found a walking stick on which to tie his bundle. Then he filled a red and white spotted handkerchief with all the things he would need, and then kissed his mother goodbye. Once again the third little pig went with him across the fields to the same wide road which led out into the world. The third little pig waved farewell to his second brother and then went back home to keep his mother company. As for the second little pig, he had not gone far before he felt as tired as his brother had done. He was very pleased to see a man coming towards him carrying a great bundle of sticks. "Those sticks are just what I want to build myself a new home," said the little pig to the man. "Would you be so kind as to let me have some of them?" The man liked the polite little pig so much that he gave him a great bundle of them. At once the second pig started to build his house, and before very long it was all ready for him to live in. Now the third little pig felt lonely without his brothers, and he decided to follow them out into the world. He put on his best clothes and packed his things in a little case, and then he kissed his mother goodbye. "I will build myself a house so that you can come and live with me," he told her. He trotted across the fields until he came to the wide road, and then he walked along it, just as his brothers had done before him. The third little pig had not gone far before he met a man with a load of bricks. "Ho! Ho! Those bricks would make me a good strong house," said the wise little pig. He went up to the man and asked so politely for some bricks that the man was glad to give him enough to build a lovely little house. When the third little pig was settled in his house, he wondered how his brothers were getting on. Alas, they were not getting on at all well, as a bad wolf was taking a walk when he came upon the first little pig's straw house.
"I do not remember seeing that before,"
he said to himself as he padded up to the straw walls and sniffed all around them.
"I wonder who lives in this dear little house," thought the wolf, slyly licking his lips. He gave a delighted grin. He could smell the little pig who was sitting inside, thinking he was settled for life without a care in the world. Little pig, let me come in," cried the wolf. But the little pig knew the wolf's voice, and he remembered what his mother had said. "No, no, by the hair on my chinny chin chin," squeaked the little pig boldly. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," snarled the wolf.
So the wolf huffed and he puffed until the house of straw blew away, and the little pig had to run as fast as he could to save himself from the wolf. The wolf was very cross, and he went on walking until he came to the second little pig's house.
"I see another new house," said the wolf. "I wonder who lives in this one."
He sniffed around the walls, and under the door he could smell the little pig.
Little pig, let me come in," he cried.
But the second little pig could see the wolf's ears through the door. "No, no, by the hair on my chinny chin chin," he squealed.
"Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," growled the wolf,
and he huffed and he puffed until he blew down the house made of sticks, and the little pig had to run for his life. He had been just as unwise as his brother by building a house which could easily be blown away. The wolf was very hungry now, and when he came to the third little house, he smelled pig again, and he felt sure that today he would catch this one for his meal after he had blown down the house.
"Open the door, little pig," snarled the wolf.
But the third little pig saw the wolf's paws through a crack in the door. "No, no, by the hair on my chinny chin chin," he cried.
"Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," snapped the wolf.
So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he could not blow down the house. At last the wolf said, little pig, I can tell you where there are some nice juicy turnips." "Where are they?" asked the little pig.
"In the field at the top of the lane," grinned the wolf. "If you will be ready at 6 o'clock in the morning, I will take you to get some for your dinner."
"I will be ready," said the little pig. But the next morning he got up at 5 o'clock and ran to the field. He found the turnips and took some home for his dinner. At 6 o'clock the cunning wolf knocked at the door.
"I am waiting, little pig," he cried. "Please don't wait any longer," cried the little pig. "My turnips are already cooking for dinner." The wolf was very angry. Little pig, he cried again. "I know where there are some fine apples." "Where are they?" asked the little pig. "On a tree at the bottom of the lane," replied the wolf. "If you will be ready at 5 o'clock, I will take you there." "I will be ready," said the little pig. But he got up at 4 o'clock and hurried to the apple tree. He climbed the tree and picked some apples and was just going to climb down when the wolf arrived. "You did not wait for me, little pig," grinned the wolf. No, I was hungry," said the little pig. "I will throw you an apple." He threw the apple as far away as he could, and the silly wolf ran after it. The clever little pig scrambled down from the tree and ran away home. The next day, the wolf knocked at the door again. "Will you come to the fair with me, little pig?" he pleaded. "I will call for you at 3 o'clock. As usual, the little pig started off before the wolf came. He enjoyed the fair and bought a big butter churn. It was late going home, and on the way he saw the wolf coming up the hill towards him. The little pig hid himself inside the churn and pulled down the lid. The churn fell over and then began to roll down the hill towards the wolf. The rolling churn frightened the wolf so much that he ran away, and that gave the little pig time to get home safely. Later, the wolf knocked again at the door. "A great thing chased me away from the fair," he said. "That was my new butter churn," chortled the little pig, "and I was inside it." When he heard that, the wolf was so angry that he decided to climb down the chimney of the brick house. But the third little pig was much too clever for the wolf. As soon as he heard the wolf on the roof, he put a large cauldron of water on the fire. The wolf climbed into the chimney and slid down, and splash! He fell right into the cauldron of water. By this time, the other two little pigs had arrived and were just going to help their brother when the wolf managed to scramble out of the cauldron and ran off into the woods, never to return. Then the three little pigs settled down happily together in their safe little brick house.